Well, good morning. Welcome back. Yep, bad hair day. Why? Well, up early because I want to go to the VA car show. That's at the Veterans Administration Hospital, and want to take the Z. So just going over the car a little bit yesterday and today. Noticed something that I wanted to fix first. So kind of show you what that is. But look, the stable's starting to, look pretty good again. And just an update, the Snow White's like driving really nice now. I've kind of backed off a little bit, took the advice, said don't hammer it, don't want to blow out that crank seal again. So I'm going to order the Mighty Mouse Catch Can with the PCV little filter on the top, so hopefully that's going to help. Guy said they've done like 20 superchargers and that's been the solution. But anyway, back to the Z. One of the things that caught the other day was, man, and I don't know if it was because the car was sitting and the clear coat just went to crap, or it was the car cover, or a cat jumped up here and peed on it. I don't know, but man, I had like this little bad spot right here. I had all of this where the clear coat was just I don't know, just cracking up, getting sun damage. So I've already hit this a little bit, and I'm going to take this, kind of knock that down again, just kind of flatten all these spots out, and then I'm just going to hit it real quick. I already have this Nissan Brickyard, the original Brickyard, not that crap they put out like in 2006 or whatever. Hit that, put some clear coat on it. It will look good enough for, today, and then either tonight or early in the morning. Then I'll wet sand it again, and hit it with some compound, buff it all out, make it look all pretty. So anyway, there you go, and we'll keep you updated. So probably next will be some footage. I still got to get the tunnel blast and some other things. The other night it was too dark, and I was also out of gas. so I really didn't have a chance to kind of bypass and go through the airport, hit the tunnel, and make it to the gas station. But I did that on purpose because I wanted to burn out all of this old crap that was in the tank. And yeah, I did a pretty good job, man. I took it all the way down to about where the car was gonna pull off on the side of the road. So anyway, as always, stay tuned. All right, well, that didn't really take that long. Everything looks nice and smooth, and got rid of all those little bumps and valleys. So I'm going to hit this with some alcohol and a tack cloth, get it ready for a nice base coat. And speaking of the base coats, I'm using the Automotive Touch-Up paints. This is base color Nissan AX8. Now, that's the original 2003 Brickyard. So like I said, I don't know what that other like yellow goldish color was, but it was not the original. So and for those who have never like really attacked or tried painting, don't be afraid. I mean, this stuff is great. I've used it on the Nismo side skirts, the front bumper, I think the hood, and then also like one trim on the side by the window. I had the windshield replaced once, and I don't know, they damaged something, so I just hit that. I mean, it looks good. And I've also used another color, the Carbon Flash. So when I got the side skirts for the Corvette, I did the side skirts, the front splitter. I think I also touched something else up on like the mirror or something. So I mean, it's good. And I would always just suggest that you either grab like a piece of ABS or a fender or something if you want to practice. That's the best thing to do. Just grab that, put some primer on it or some adhesion inhibitor, and hit it with the base coat and then a clear coat. Polish it out, see how it does, and kind of take it from there. So I know I said I was probably going to just leave this, but more than likely I'll do what I usually do. I'll pull the grinder out and probably cut and polish it anyway, as long as I have enough time. Well, there you go. I've got about 1.5 coats, because that can was starting to get empty, and as I recall before, don't keep spraying, because all you're going to get is like little dots of paint. So I'm just going to leave it at that. I got about an hour to wait before I can put the clear coat on. And here's the clear coat. Just had that. All right, so this is I don't know their other logo, but that's just Automotive Touch-Up paint again. That's their gloss clear coat. So got to wait an hour, and then usually hit that with like 2 coats, 1 or 2 coats. It's good to do the clear coat, especially the clear coat. I mean, if the base coat goes on pretty well, then you're kind of golden. On the clear coat, I would have done before in the past, like especially on these side skirts. I mean, you can see kind of how good those are. What I've done before on those is just to cut down on the orange peel. You want to do one coat, then do it light, then do a nice heavy wet coat, let that dry, hit it with I don't know, I gotta look and see what kind of sandpaper I have. I think I've got 1500, probably 3000, 6000. If you hit it before you do the next clear coat, it really cuts down on that orange peel, and looks better. So and if all else, I mean, I can put 1 or 2 coats on, and then as long as I get that one in between coat kind of sanded down, it should look pretty good. But yeah, it's been a while. I would say maybe 9, wow, actually longer than that, 10 years ago. I kind of wet sanded this, and you can kind of see, I mean, there's there's still a little bit in it, but also I didn't want to take it all the way down and then have problems. As it is, I probably already have to touch up the front, and especially the hood. Maybe I'll go and try to find old photos of that, because actually there was a Chameleon painted 350Z. The guy had a Stillen supercharger on it, then he did a full body kit, and he pulled the supercharger off and was going to go twin turbo. And again, this was like in 2004, 2005, I think it was. And then he put this carbon fiber hood up for sale. So I actually had the other V2 hood, which on the car looks better, but it's got this little phony air gap on the front, and I saw online somebody actually cut that out and put some mesh on it. It looked pretty cool, but because of the flex, they're really bad the way they did not support like the inside of the hood over the supercharger part. They basically kind of took a hood and then they cut the middle part out and kind of raised that up, and on the other design, instead of raising it up like this with the hump, they did they just like cut it, and so that area flexes, and you're driving down the road and you can see it actually raising and lowering, and that would crack the inside edges. So I didn't like that, but I got this hood, and it was like, I don't know, they wanted $1,500 or something like that for this hood from Stillen, maybe even more, and I ended up getting this for $250. And I had a friend that was coming in from California, so I said, hey, can you stop by the dealership or repair place where this guy's got his car, and loaded up the hood, threw it in the back, brought it here to Vegas, and I ran it for a little while with the Chameleon hood. I know I have a photo of that because I went to some Nismo meetup, and it was funny. People were like, whoa, did that come off that guy's car? So anyway, and yeah, I didn't like grind that all the way down, so, and I also didn't have to put any real primer. I mean, I kind of should have, I guess, but it's kind of funny. I'll show you on the front hood. You can see all the little speckles, and they got this rainbow effect. But at some point I need to touch up the front bumper just because of all the rock chips, especially the splitter. The splitter is oh man, I mean, the splitter's in pretty bad shape. But here's all the little, you can see all the little rainbow, rock chips, and some freaking cat claw mark down the front, which I hate that with cars outside, and when it gets colder and the cats want to jump up on the hood and sleep where it's warm, you always get this kind of stuff unless they jump up on the side. But yeah, the splitter, now that it's not stored, I gotta take this and angle it back down. But I mean, this is just, this front edge from the rocks and everything is just so beat up. And but there you go. And you can see here, like all those, man, like all those freaking cat marks. But other than that, man, car is in very good shape. Gotta get another window decal, but I held off on that because yeah, some of you know and don't know, I think it was when I got the Corvette, yeah, I was getting ready to park this and just store it for a little while because there was some other stuff I wanted to do. And the day I was bringing it in, a rock hit right here, cracked the windshield. So now I got to get another windshield for it. But anyway, you know, it is what it is. I got to repaint the, you know, redo the calipers. Yeah, ADR, you don't see those anywhere. That was like the BBS knockoff at the time. I was so proud because I was like the first with those rims on the car, and yeah, people were like, ugh, it's 2003, man. All right, well, there you go. There's the finished product. That is roughly 2.5 pretty wet coats. So I'm just gonna let this sit and bake for the next hour before I even, you know, attempt to remove any of these drop cloths or anything. And then we'll head over to the car meetup. Actually surprised at how well that turned out. And yeah, I don't mean that from a I have no idea what I'm doing perspective, but more from the orange peel. I'm looking at the reflection of the house and the sky over here, and man, it's pretty smooth just the way it is. So the weather holds out tomorrow. I will probably wet sand that and then hit it with you know, some compound, get it nice and shiny and smooth, and you know, go from there. But I'm glad, you know, now that I'm actually driving the car around, I really needed to not take it anywhere with you know, all that clear coat mess that was in the center. So so I'm happy, and hopefully we'll get some good video at the car show, and you know, add that to the video. So as always, stay tuned. All right, I realized there was one more thing I still needed to do, and that was the little stubby antenna that I put on the car like 12 years ago. It was anodized and it's faded out, and every time I look at it getting in the car, I wanted to paint it black, but just kept putting it off. But now that I got all the paints out and they're out of the cabinet, I decided to throw 2 coats of carbon flash on it to match like the side skirts here on the Corvette, and let that dry maybe a couple minutes more, and then I'll throw a clear coat on it, and before we head out I'll put it back on the car. So that should pretty much do it as far as what I want to do on the Z at the moment. I think Monday, Tuesday, I'm going to take it in. I'm going to get plates on it anyway, and kind of go from there. So there, see what I mean? Much better. Well, we just got out to the VA hospital event, and we'll go do some hyperlapse, get all of the cars. Place is pretty packed, so enjoy the footage. Oh, I know right where Pamela is going, because I see a blue Viper ACR. Let's guess. Yep, that's right where she's headed. Oh, it's a TA. I knew right where you were headed. Exactly.
So pretty.
Oh. She wants one of these so bad, it's unbelievable.
I love the way that looks like eyeliner.
Eyeliner? That sounds weird. What's that? Is that the goosebump jiggle?
Yes.
Alright, well, you know, these are actually cheaper than a 70, you know, 426 Hemi.
I know.
I could get one of these.
A lot easier.
A lot easier. Yeah. They're definitely in more abundance.
Look how freaking hot that was.
Okay. Well, there you go. But where are you going to put all your supplies?
If we have the money to get that, I don't need supplies. I'm not going to be working.
Yeah. Look, they were almost lined up. The Challenger was almost behind the Viper.
I know.
And like I said, so what's your decision? You get to drive one of them out. Which one is it?
Don't make me choose. Don't make me choose.
Pick one.
I can't.
Pick one.
I can't.
You can only have one. Which one do you take?
Me being me, I'd probably take the Challenger.
You take the Challenger.
I'd probably take the Challenger. I mean, I drool over the Viper, but that Challenger is, oh yeah.
All right. Well, as I said, there's the show. She's gonna take the Challenger. I guess she wants that because it's purple.
No, because it's a 70 Challenger.
Yeah, but you know, it's not numbers matching. It's got a different motor in it. It's not a Hemi. It's not this. It's not that.
Not everything's perfect, but it's still a Challenger.
Not everything's perfect, but it's still a Challenger. So there you go. Anyway, they had what, 298 cars. So a pretty good turnout. So got here kind of late, but you know, it was still good. Got some hyperlapse and go from there. So, you know, I've owned this car since 2003, and most of that time it's had a supercharger. I can't believe I've never gotten video of this. However, back then there was no GoPro. So here you go. This is what makes the Stillin so nice.